Look at that. Absolutely magnificent. Beautiful. And it comes up in these buds, and then it bursts forth into this crazy orange red flower. And then the bees come along and pollinate it, and then it produces these seed pods. Well, look at that, it's close on 7 o'clock and the sun's coming up. Now then, who can notice anything different with the camera today? No? Well, I have no doubt it's still out of sync, but Brian will sort that out when he comes up. But I thought today, I'll tell you what's different about the camera. I've got a new elastic band on it. Hey, who are you barking at? Hey, this is my house, not yours. Good morning. That's his dog going off, and his dog's barking at me in front of my house. Cheeky rip. Anyway, hey, up, we've got a new street lamp. I don't know when that went up. All solar these days. Anyway, yes, I've got a new elastic band on the camera because the snap catch on the holder has broken, and as I'm a tight old sod, I haven't replaced it. And I've got on, no, they're not trainers. They are trainers, but they're toe detectors, you know, the steel toe cap. And we're going for a walk. So where are we going? Well, it's funny you should ask that, because we're going, there's my place, and they're clearing the land opposite, over the rice fields, probably a couple of 100 metres away, and it looks like they're either going to sell it or build a house there. So I thought we'd go and have a look what they're doing. There's the old school. And get that tamarind tree and all the spondicious, the colour of the new leaves. And this tree here, it's a fruit that you don't eat, but it's got these rather magnificent seeds it sheds. Anyway, the reason I've got these trainers on, or these safety shoes, is because we're going to walk across the rice stubble, and I don't want mimosa pudica all over my feet. Right, so there's somebody building some kind of a structure there in the wood, and they've had a machine on here, and they're carving out around the bottom, and I suspect they're going to build a wall around the edge. And there's one thing that I don't know how to do, is to build a retaining wall. They'll build a standard garden wall, and within 2 rainy seasons the hydraulic pressure from the bank will push it down. So we've been clearing this off here. So now then, there you go. See my place across the rice. Doesn't matter. When I first bought that land, this 10 rye here, 10 rye is 4 acres. I was desperate to buy it because I thought, I don't want somebody building in front of me. Anyway, I don't care now. The old lady wouldn't sell it. Then when she died, her family came straight to us. Do you want to buy this land? And May said, do you want to buy it? I said, nope. No, I've no interest in gaining that extra land. Just meant a lot of extra work. I suppose we could sharecrop it, but it's just not worth it. So here we go. They've been clearing all this off yesterday. It's ironic that this is, before we bought that land, I'd earmarked this land, and I said to me, let's buy this little hill just out of the rice. But the problem with it was, and still is it's owned, it's on about 4 or 5 different Chinooks, different families, and couldn't get them to agree, so I thought, so we bought that instead. Now this is good land. It's a gentle slope all the way down to the rice. The point is, if you built a house on here, and it might well be they're doing it as a garden for that dwelling over there, I don't know. But if you built a house here, the situation is that the sun rises there, where it is now, and it sets all the way over there. So consequently, this is pretty much south facing, which will be quite desirable in Europe. But here, it's going to get that really roasting hot sun all day. And you're going to have to invest in some decent insulation, because if you don't, you're going to be investing in aircon or sweating. So if you're going to build a house in Thailand, pay attention to the path of the sun, because if you are in the sun, then those walls you need to really insulate, or build them like they used to build the old cottages in the UK or the old cottages in Europe, where the walls are really thick and kept out the hot sun or the winter's chill. So there you go. It's a nice piece of land, but I don't know. So I just thought I'd bring you up and show you. A little walk. Fed the birds. Go back and feed the fish. I think that digger's seen better days. What do you think? Interesting, isn't it? Well, they've laid a stone road in to go to whatever dwelling that is they're building over there. And whether it's, I don't know what it is. That's not bad, because it's shaded by the trees, and that just faces the setting sun. That land next to me over there, the one with the light coloured grass, the hill opposite mine, that's still for sale. That's 2 rye. Pulled out all the old tree roots. They make furniture out of that, garden furniture, and they stain it all up. Of course, it lasts forever. It's real old hardwood. So I don't know if it's the same person or it's a different one. Look at that place there, with the windows boarded up. I don't know who lives there. I'm clearly Maine also. But they seem okay, quiet. But they just do bits and bats when a crop comes in and they get a bit of spare cash. Sensible, rather than going into debt. I don't know what it is. It's got a bathroom on it. Looking at the roof construction, it looks very agricultural. This could be an elaborate cellar. I don't know. And you get the opposites. The blue and white house, the new one in the distance that they've just completed. And again, that one gets, on this elevation, that gets the sun from late morning till it sets. And there's no overhang on that roof. That is going to be blisteringly hot. Large windows and painted a dark colour. Well, it's blue and white, but that dark colour will attract that sun like there's no tomorrow. And in a couple of months, all this rice will be absolutely gorgeous. Right, well, time for second breakfast. There you go, just a little tiny walk to see what's going on. Yeah, this is a great case in point. They've been using this rice paddy here as access to get to it and get the machines to it and all that carry on. And if that was in England, or in the UK, shall I say, farmer would be out, oh, you can't come on my land, you can't do this, you can't do that. But here, the field isn't being used because we're in the dry, and they'll come on, they'll use it. But when they go off, they'll reinstate the little dikes that hold the water in and make it all right, and everybody's happy. Buddhism. The cracks in the... Look at that. Well, the children I think the children go back to school tomorrow, on the 1st of May. After this has been their summer holiday through Songkran and the hot season. I think they get about 5 or 6 weeks. And that tree that's coming into flower there, its nickname is the flame tree, because when it's in that profusion of flower, it is like it's on fire. And it's got those long seed pods. They're about 600 mil, 2 feet long. He's prepping up his irrigation pipes. He's sorting his filter out. He'll be, he's got a 3-inch Honda pump. Be pumping from the river to his land. Oh, that's what I'm heading for. Look at that. Look at that. Thai chickens. You know that expression, breeding like rabbits? It's all wrong. Should be breeding like Thai chickens. These are the seed pods from the flame tree. Absolutely fantastic. But rather like the yellow, the golden rain tree, it drops seed pods all over the place and you're forever cleaning them up. The old school can tell a tale or two. May went here till she was 11 and she finished school. And about once a month, there's one of her friends in the village, a girl, lady friend, and two of her male friends from the village. They're all in the same class here at school. And once a month, they go to each other's house and they sit down and they have something to eat and a few beers. One of them's a shopkeeper. One of them has got a little massage place and she sometimes works in the field. And the other lad works at the courts. He's a court officer or a solicitor or something like that. Not sure whether this building was the old dining room. It could have been the dining room. I think it was. But look at this now. Look at that. Absolutely magnificent. Beautiful. And it comes up in these buds and then it bursts forth into this crazy orange red flower. And then the bees come along and pollinate it and then it produces these seed pods. What a lovely morning. What an absolutely lovely morning. Right, well, I am going to go back. Limp back. Got the old hand pump for the school here. Old water pump. Pumping up groundwater. Absolutely fantastic. I love the old buildings. Years ago, back in 1989, 1990, when the internet was really new, I used to go on news groups, and there was on this particular news group, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was a photographers or amateur photographers news group, and people would post the pictures they'd taken on. And the pictures I loved the most, without a shadow of a doubt, was like an old building like this, or it could be like old farm machinery that's like been left abandoned in a paddock, and the weeds and brambles or trees have been growing through the wheels and all sorts of things like that. I don't know why, I don't know why, but there's a certain, I don't know, certain magic about the process of decay, I suppose. I know. Yeah, you're right. I could need therapy. Yeah, I mean, look at that. There's this seed that's blown there into the compost, or the debris that's in the gutter will be the leaf mold compost, and the seed's taken root, and that tree is growing out of that. It can't be getting much nourishment out of that, can it? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And someone's burning leaves. I can smell burning leaves. Like autumn in the UK. These are the old, obviously the playing field for the school, but this area here under the trees was where the children could play out, swings and tyres, and there was like one of those ladders that you hang from and walk along. That's all decayed and gone now, but all homemade. And those swings there are made out of motorbike chains and tyres and inner tubes from motorbikes. And look how that trunk has twisted around there. It's twisted around and turned and gone that way. This tree's growing out that way because it's trying to get to the light. And look, that root system searching for nourishment. These are termite mounds. A leaf burning culprit. And this bougainvillea here, that was no doubt planted years and years and years ago in that concrete planter. Now the amount of nourishment that can get out of that, goodness gracious me, nothing. Oh well. And there, suspended from this garage, speaking of nourishment, that's the plants that take everything that they want out of the atmosphere. Clever stuff, nature, isn't it? There he is with his... Good morning. What are you doing, Chow? Sabay. He's got the motorbike tyre that he's going to wrap around the pipes to joint them up. Motorbike inner tube, should I say. Well, and that's a popular sign in Thailand. I was with David Robert Thomas, and we're in the mountains, and I said, I know what that sign means, David? He said, yeah. He said, windy road. I said, no. I said, it means beware, arrowhead snakes are ahead. He said, no. Yeah. Well, there you go. New street lights, new road lights. One of the things David was impressed with when he came here, David stayed with us for about a month, and he was well impressed with the conditions of the roads. Now, this is an old village road. It's just been repaired. There's a few little potholes in it, but by and large the roads are really good. And going back minus dog. And the new street lights, the solar lights, just lead me on to costs. And a few weeks ago, May had to go and pay our annual building tax, land tax, and that clearly pays for the good roads and the street lights and the schools and everything else. In the UK, we call them rates. You know, you pay so much tax every month or every year to the local authority. And I think, going back nearly 20 years, my rates payable per month were £120 a month. Here, my annual taxes here, the one that May pays for the property and everything, is £4 a year. No comparison, is there? The difference is here is they don't waste money. Right, I'll pick up the bag of mealworm that I left here and we'll limp along there and feed the fish. That'll be the, across there is the land we've just looked at. Well, the water isn't running. I don't think I switched it off last night because when Stephen left, I was plastered. Because I'd bought 12 large cans of Leo. Yeah. Now, as you well know, tilapia are vegetarian or herbivores, but they don't like to eat the mealworms. My butternut squash went up rather nicely, and a couple of tomatoes that look rather beautiful. The aquaponics is pretty much finished now, getting ready for sorting out and replanting or resowing. So I'm going. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye bye for now.